Okay, so how this session is arranged basically, right? So this session is arranged into like some key parts that are okay. So first part is cross-platform application development, where we'll talk a little bit about like some other frameworks that are present in this space, like React Native or Cordova or Ionic or anything. Okay, and the second part is introduction to application development with Flutter. So since this is based on Flutter, so we'll start with application development using Flutter. Like we'll discuss things about Flutter, like how it is working, like things like that, and how you can get started with it. Most importantly, and the next thing will be like this will not be like only a theory session, and you will be receiving lots of theory and like no practical knowledge. So it will not be like that. We have planned a hands-on session after the PPT as well. So once these 25 to 30 slides that I am having right now gets over, which will be about in 30 minutes, most probably. Okay. So the next 30 minutes of this 1 hour session, we will dedicate to creating our first Flutter application. Okay. If you are not on a laptop, I would recommend that please join the meeting using a laptop or like make some arrangement with a laptop or something like that. You can make arrangement of laptop like if you can, like that will be really helpful. Otherwise, the recording of this session will also be produced to you after this event. So in that case also, no worries. So the basic idea is that we'll be going on some online code editor and we'll be trying out Flutter for our first times. If you guys anyone has already done Flutter development, then that's very nice, well and good. But like for most of the people who might be new to this, who might not be very familiar to all of this, we'll make sure to like tell you all the fundamental stuff and like how what all things are there in Flutter, like what all things you can think of doing in Flutter, and we'll take some look at notable examples, example applications that are built in Flutter, etc. And like we'll go into the hands-on session after that. So I hope you guys are excited because I am. This session will be all about Flutter. So let's get started. Okay, section one. Okay, so there are basically two approaches to creating a Flutter application. One approach is that you can create a Flutter application using native platform features like your Android, your Java, your Kotlin. You might have heard of this Java application development. You might have heard of Kotlin development. You might have heard of Swift, Objective C, things like that. Okay, no worries if you haven't. Like these are all native application development tools. Okay. So we are not talking about the native development right now. We are focusing on hybrid development. So what is the difference between native and hybrid platform, hybrid development? Okay. So the core difference that everyone can see is if you develop an application using Java or if you develop an application using Kotlin, it will only run on Android. Well, you might say that that's good, right? Yeah, that's pretty good. Like that's pretty neat. But what if you want to make that application run on iOS? That same application, like for example, you made your own to-do application in Android. Okay, now you want that your application should run also on iOS. Your to-do application grows a lot, like it gets millions of downloads, and you are able to monetize it very well. So you plan that now let's go to the iOS version also. Let's release the iOS version. Now you will face a challenge there. You will face a challenge that you will need to find iOS developers who will develop the application from scratch in Objective-C or Swift. Okay. So they will develop the application using Swift and like everything will be from scratch. So like no code reusability aspect is there and all. And lot of like, so it will be like two different code bases that you will have to maintain, one for the Android and one for the iOS. So this is the thing that hybrid frameworks take away from it. Okay, this is the point that is differentiating hybrid cross-platform application development frameworks with native ones. In native, you can create only application for a specific operating system. That is maybe Android, maybe iOS, maybe desktop, or maybe Windows, etc. The beauty of these frameworks like Flutter, React Native is that you can create applications for Android as well as iOS with using a single code base. Like you don't have to write extra line of code, right? So this is the thing that hybrid platforms are offering to us. that you can create your application for like Android, for iOS, and things like that. So now there is also Ionic, there is also React Native, there is also native script and all. Like, so you might be thinking like, why should we like go with Flutter, right? So like, why should we go with Flutter? So the thing with Flutter is that, like recently, if you are in the space of application development over the internet and all, like you can see very easily that there is the most popular framework right now, as of 2021, is Flutter. Objectively, like you can argue against that, but like most of the people nowadays are going switching into Flutter and like from any other frameworks just because of its performance aspect. Like in React Native, there is a thing that it's not as performant as Flutter. It is really good for each one of us. Like if we create our own applications and like that, it's really good. It's really fast. It's really efficient. Okay, but when it comes to like ekdam top-notch performance, right? In hybrid development frameworks, okay, in hybrid frameworks, that is till now that is Flutter. Okay, native applications are always like much better in terms of performance. If you only want performance from application, I'll say that just go with a native version. Okay, I will not say that to choose Flutter or React Native or consider any of these options. If your only purpose is performance, you want a high performant application. But for most of the use cases, this is not the case, and we can go ahead with this any of these hybrid frameworks as well. Now this we start with the section 2, which is getting started with Flutter. Okay, anyone has any queries? If like you can just simply ask in the chat or like ask using the microphone or something. Like you can ask in the between. Okay. So now moving on to the next thing. This is the intro slide that I have put in. Like Flutter design beautiful apps made by Google. What is Flutter actually? So as their website is defining it, Flutter is a Google's UI toolkit for building beautiful natively compiled applications for mobile, web, and desktop from a single code base. This is official definition for Flutter by Google. Okay. So one more thing I would like to mention here that Flutter is completely open source. Okay. You can go to GitHub right now and you will be able to find the source code for Flutter's SDK over the GitHub. Okay. So everything is open source and is largely managed by a community. So what do we mean by that? It is we can make mobile, web, and desktop applications, right? We are saying that. So what it says is that you can create applications for Android which will work on Android. Suppose you work at we took an example of To-Do application, right? Suppose we create that To-Do application in Flutter. In Flutter, if we create this application, what will happen is your application will run seamlessly on Android, on iOS, on your other like laptops or on your like Mac OS or on Linux or any operating system which is supported by Flutter. And there are a lot of operating systems. So think how good it actually is. Like, are you grasping my point that I'm trying to make here? That you only have to write your code once and every time, like from everywhere, like your application will run on every platform. Let it be Android, let it be iOS, let it be Windows, Mac OS, let it be Linux. Linux is also supported for development in Flutter. Let it be Fuchsia OS. Fuchsia OS is coming out, I guess, in some years from now, but talk rumors are that it will also be supported with Flutter. So basically all the platforms are covered, right? And you don't need to go outside of this for the most part. For the most part, all right, that's an important part. So you might be wondering how is Flutter doing all this, right? Since earlier we are having like all of these like tons and tons of different frameworks and like libraries and packages to like take care of like Java, Kotlin, Swift, this, that. How is Flutter doing all this? Okay. Flutter is doing all this with the use of a Skia engine. What is Skia engine? Skia is simply a graphics engine which is open source, which is written in C++. Okay. Skia. So this is Skia. Flutter uses Skia under the hood. Okay. It uses Skia to like paint all the pixels on the screen that you see. Let it be your any platform it is running on. Skia, it uses Skia to like control all the pixels. So like you can create really like anything out of Flutter, right? In case of React Native, if anyone was aware of that, what React Native tries to do is it tries to like look up the original components which are in the like your native toolkit that is given into Android. or iOS, and it tries to work with that. But instead of going that way, what Flutter provides its own widget library. So it gives it all the widgets like your like buttons, all the like carousels, your forms, modals, everything is given pre-baked into Flutter, and you just need to use it. So now you might be asking, okay, I know like what kind of Flutter is by this point. I know like that like how what all platforms I can make applications for. I can make it for pretty much any platform at this point. And but now my question is like, who is using Flutter, right? This is a big question mark. Who is using Flutter? So a lot of applications, a lot of big applications are using Flutter. Like you can look up some applications right now on Play Store if you want to. Like Reflectly we have here. Reflectly is a very beautifully designed application that I used to like. I love to show as a showcase in any talk that I'm giving. You can install this application and look at the flow, look at the user interface that they have built. Like it's really amazing. Like it's so smooth, and you won't be able to make this such kind of thing with any other framework so easily. Like it, and like the point is that Flutter makes all the building of all such UIs easy. And how it is doing so, like we'll discuss that also in a moment. But do check out this Reflectly application; it's really good. Second most notable application that we all might be knowing, that is Dream 11. So Dream 11 app, yes, the Dream 11 app is made with Flutter. It's built using Flutter application framework. It's not available on Play Store, but like it is made using Flutter. That's our primary concern, right? So yeah, pretty big applications such as Dream 11 are also using Flutter. And another application which is using Flutter, which you might or might not know about, is this Zerodha. I think many of you might be aware of this, and many of you might not. But it is like a very huge application, like which is there that is like for dealing in stocks and currencies, etc., and commodities, etc. If you are into that stuff. But my point is that this you can look up this application on Play Store, and like it's a huge application. It has a lot of features which are working in real time. Like all the graphs are working in real time, and all the like buying selling options, tons and tons of features are baked into this Zerodha Kite application, and it is completely made in Flutter. There is actually a really good blog also written by one of their developers explaining why they choose Flutter over another platforms. I'll talk about that also. It has like 1 million active devices, 3 million order placed, and like 10% of volume of exchanges. I don't know what it is written. Like in terms of active clients, they're saying that it's best, but like not our concern. Our concern is that it's made in Flutter, right? Yeah. So this is the slide I was talking about. Evolution of Kite mobile application. So yeah, you can see here that they tried to make this application using the native Android first. Okay, the first version of Kite was built in native Android. It took around 1 year to finish it, and there was no iOS version. As I was talking about, right? That if you build the application using what native Android, this native Android, then you will not get an iOS version out of it because it is native. Native means that your application will work only on one of the platforms which is it is particularly developed for. Okay. Then just a second. Let me change the pen. Yeah. So later we decided to go with cross-platform with like native React Native. They choose the React Native application, and they are saying that they build it around in 6 months, right? So they built it around 6 months, 5 to 6 months. So they went around the React Native as well. They tried their application, but we published it for iOS only because Android is built completely usable. After like 1 year, we saw Flutter decided and to go with this. And like there is a complete blog written by Ajin Ashokan, app developer at Zerodha, explaining each and every aspect of why they chose Flutter. So if you're wanting to read this, you can go to this particular blog which is given over here. I guess someone will paste the link to this in description or something in the chat. Okay, you can go to this blog and like check this out. So this is also a thing. Moving on. So for more of the showcases that for more applications that are built on Flutter, you can go to this Flutter Showcase website. You can easily find it on Google. Like it's Flutter Showcase. You can type it on net, and you will find it. Okay. So now there is another section of slides that I have here. Like as I discussed earlier as well. Like this is for the just a second. Yeah. So for Android there are Kotlin, there is Java. For iOS there is Swift, there is Objective C. What Flutter allows us to do is for to build applications for both of these. Like this is iOS and this is Android, and it's using Skia to like managing all these things. So you might be wondering like what is the programming language that we are using in Flutter, right? Since we are using this Java, Kotlin here and like Swift kind of languages here, what is the language that Flutter is using? So the language that Flutter is using is Dart. Dart is the language that Flutter is using. Okay. So Dart was custom built for like UI development. You can go to their website and this is the thing that they say that Dart is optimized for UI development. So we build Flutter applications using Dart. Now let's move on to the next section. That is like we discussed about like okay in the first section we discussed about like why and what Flutter is and all. In the second section we talked about some examples and like how Flutter works and things like this. Now moving on to the next section, like how Flutter is actually working. Okay. In Flutter, there is a if any one of you has done React, okay, React or like any other front-end framework. In React, I know that there are things called as components. There are React components. You make functions or like classes and like create components out of it, like buttons and forms and models and things like that. And you try to like present them to the UI and things. There is a similar kind of concept here that is called as widgets. So basically, everything in Flutter application is a widget. How does Flutter work? Just a second. Yeah, I see widgets everywhere. Yeah. So everything in Flutter is a widget. Okay. Everything from an image, from to a text to a form, everything is a widget, right? So next thing is this. We have a screenshots of an application that I built quite a few months ago, and we can look at let's pick out some elements from it. Okay, let's pick out some elements from it. Like look at this image. This is another image. This is some text. This is a button. This is a text. This is the icon. This is a divider. Okay, all of these elements are widgets. Okay. Every single one of these elements is a widget that is maybe pre-baked, maybe custom built into Flutter by me. So like everything you see in a Flutter application is a widget. That is a thing I want you all to remember right now. So here is the flow. Here is a really nice animation which is showing flow between in an application. Okay. So there are three main widgets here. That is my login screen, my catalog, and my cart. And there is a main widget, my app. So after you set enter into my login screen, you move on to my catalog, okay, which has app bar and list of items. Then after this you go to cart and you go to this third. So this is a flowchart representing like how we are navigating between different widgets in Flutter. This is a top level widget and there are like sub hierarchies and hierarchies of widgets below it. So a very simple example of like how a flowchart in a flowchart way, how widgets might change in a Flutter application. Okay. So what more can we do in Flutter, right? These are all like using these simple widgets like I talked in previous slides, like text, icons, buttons, images, etc. You can build pretty much all sorts of applications, right? There are some additional widgets, but you can build all sorts of applications like e-commerce applications, like your Ola Uber clone, and like your other applications like any kind of application you can build using this. Okay, but what if you want to do more? What if you want to like make some custom animations and things like that? There is another thing in it which is called as Rive. Okay, so as you are able, yeah. So you can do custom animations in Flutter using Rive. Okay, let's check another example here. So you see how this animation is working, right? It's so smooth and fluid, right? You can visit this website right now. It's You can search for Rive on the internet and like you can check this thing out. It's again really awesome, like how great these tools are becoming right now. So here are some more examples from this Rive. So you can see how smooth this is going, right? So you can build all these kinds of animations inside of this Flutter using Rive. You can pretty much control their like you can control their motion. Like you are seeing someone is pointing out the cursor to here and there, and like the face of this character is moving along with it. You can see someone is clicking on it and it's jumping like this and things like that. Okay, so animations are also possible. Just a second, I guess the slide just went away. Just a second. And again, this is not all. Like these are just simple examples that we have covered till now. Now our PPT section will be over, and we'll be moving on to some live coding. Okay, we'll be moving on to create our first application in Flutter. Okay, so I hope you all are ready with your laptops. I'll say that you can take 5 minutes right now and like check out if you want to like pull out your laptop, start it up, and do something like this. And if anyone has opened this, if someone has already their laptops opened, you can visit this website that is flutlab.io. I'll stop the screen share right now, this presentation right now, and I'll do a screen share moving into this. Okay. So in the meantime, you all can like pull out your laptops and try to visit the site and try to make an account in it because we'll need it to like for you to do the practical as well along with me. Okay. So do this. In the meantime, I'm just setting it up on my own computer and like screen sharing it again. I guess my screen will be visible right now. Here it is, flutlab.io. So you see, it will give us an entire integrated development environment kind of platform with its own emulator and things. So we can develop our applications inside of this website only. It has some really cool features. You can check these out. But for now, like we'll be moving on to just simply like getting started with this. So yes, I already have this sample project here, but I'll create a new project right now. So is everyone on this website right now? Like is anyone facing some issues? We can discuss about them. I'll share the link to this website also in the chat. Yeah, someone has already shared the website link. Okay. So is everyone on the same website which we are seeing? Anyone facing any issues? Yeah, you can unmute yourself and talk about it. I'll wait for a minute or so if someone is facing any issues, or else we'll move on.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Sir, while starting a new project, it is asking for code base. So which code base do you have to choose?
It is asking for code base. Okay. You can simply choose the Hello World template if it is there. Like it's there or not. Like
Yes, sir.
you would have clicked on. Yes, yes. You need to select the like stateless hello world project. Yes, I am doing it on the screen as well right now. So yes, select the stateless hello world project. Let's give it a name. Hello world. And let's name this as like package name as anything, and let's hit create. The project name can okay, I got it. 3 correct. Okay, so I've created this another project here, that is this session 3. I hope everyone is following up till this point. If anyone is having any troubles, like please let me know, or you can unmute yourself and ask if any troubles are there. Okay, I guess most of you will be here. Yeah, please continue.
Hello, sir. I just started Flux Lab,
Mhm.
and I missed
Mhm.
your point. Right now, it's showing Hello World uh, program main.dart.
Sure. You are on the next step. Okay. Anyone who is not able to do up till this point?
Uh, how to create a new project means I'm not getting the option here.
Okay. Here you can see this plus project button is there, right?
It's not visible, sir. Here,
Just a second. Just a second. Like if I go inside this project, something like this is visible to you.
just a minute, sir. Yes,
Something
sir.
like this should be visible to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is exactly like this is a new project. This is a new project only in Flutter. Okay.
Okay.
So you are in the right place.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I think most of you will be on this page by now, as like only we needed to click some stuff here and there. Yeah. So this is basically a like if you see on my left, here is the file explorer we get here. That is like it is giving options like Android. Here is the option for iOS. Skip this label test. Here is the option for web. Like all these platforms which are supported in this project right now are given over here, like Android, iOS, and web. So this project that we'll create right now, okay, listen to me carefully. All the projects that we'll make right now will be available to us in Android, in iOS, and in web. All three of them it will work. Now coming back to these two folders, that is this lib and test. So the test folder is basically for testing purposes like unit testing, integration testing, and flow testing, etc. And these are some README files and things like this. Okay, so we need not to care about these right now. The main thing which we are concerned about is this main.dart. Okay, this is the main file that we are concerned about. Now, if you have created the code using the Hello World code base, which I would recommend that you do so that we are all on the same page, you can simply go ahead here, select this web. There are a lot of options given over here, but you can select web for now and like hit this build project button. Okay, so do this. It will take a minute or minute, I guess. Do this in the meanwhile. You remember what I did? I went to this left corner of the screen and like selected the web and then hit the like play button left to it. Try to do that. If any issues are there, just let me know.
Hello, sir.
Yes, it is.
So it's showing the message that you can't do it.
What is the error that is giving?
So I selected.
So I think
I need
I have to
to
sign
log
in.
in or
I was
register.
getting some error, but I sign in and confirm my email. So the error was removed.
Are you saying something? Like your voice was not clear.
Sir, I was facing same error, but I sign in and confirm my email. So it run.
Acha, okay. You were saying that you confirmed your email, right?
Yes, sir. So I think
Okay,
you must.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Done.
Good. Are you
Done.
listening to this? Yeah. Is it working now?
Yes, sir. It's working.
Okay, cool. So you see how this little emulator popped up. This is a web version of the project, okay? And this is the code. The code which is written over here is for this application. This little of application which is here, okay? So let's keep it in the right, and let's look at the code and try to like do some little bit of things here and there. Okay, so this top piece of code up till line 21, we can just simply ignore that. Like we don't need to do anything about it. Like in tomorrow's class will be if we continue with this class with this Flutter series, the next session in this Flutter series will be of work hands-on workshop. Okay, so in that class I will explain each and everything which is there, right? What is the meaning of this my app, stateless widget, material app, theme data, like most of the things I will explain there. But for now, just for the demonstration purposes, okay, we are considering from line 23rd onwards. Okay, this is the code that we are concerned about right now. Just because I want to give a introduction and like this is not a full tutorial on this Flutter thing, right? So okay, from line 23 we are looking at it. From line 23 there is a string called as title. Okay, there is a string called as title, and we are getting this title from somewhere else. So what we can do, we can remove this line 26, and assign our own title. We can give it as my title, like this. Hit save, and hot reload. Okay, build failed, check the log. Giving some errors. So what is this? Title isn't defined. Okay, we need to remove it from here as well. Okay, so let's leave it as it is. It will take more changes than I expected. Let's leave it as it is right now. Yeah. So we are back on like how it was before. So instead of doing that, what we can do, we can go inside, go to this line 33 and change this thing. Inside of this text, we can write our own name, like. And now we can try to save it. I'm just trying this out because so that making sure that it's working properly. Yeah. So yeah, you see the title in this app bar changed to my name. Since we are like on this line 33, which is inside of this app bar. App bar is a widget, okay? And it has a title of this string that I'm passing. You can try it out right now on your own systems if you have opened this thing. If you are also facing any issues, like do let me know. Like I ran into error here, removing this thing. What I did is I saved this thing. When I made the change, like I saved this file using Control S. I saved it, and what I did is hit here. That is hot reload. It is right to the like web option which we use to like run this application. Here it is, hot reload. You can use this thing to like so that your changes are reflected. Okay, so after making sure that like everything is working fine, we can move to like the body of this thing. So this is the app bar. Okay, you can do one more thing, I guess. Hit enter in the app bar, and you can add some icons also here. Like okay, we'll do that later on. Right now we can move on to this body. So in this line number 35, okay, line number 35, there is a parameter called as body. Okay, it has again a text widget which is saying hello world. You can change the string as well, like hello, or this is a test. Okay. Let's and try to hot reload now. Yeah, you see this text has been, it's pretty small, like even I cannot see it properly, but I think like it has been changed. Okay, I'm not changing its dimensions right now. Like this. Okay. Okay, so we can do a lot of things inside of it. Like if in the next session we'll try to learn some widgets into which are baked into Flutter, like container, columns, cards, and like other things like layout widgets and like how to color everything up and things like that. Once we learn that, we'll be able to like create our own applications kind of thing. But just for the testing, just for today, like you can edit this string. You can do more things like what you can do right now. Okay, can try to remove this entire thing if you want. Like I'm removing it. I'm removing this text widget. Okay, be careful. Like don't miss out any other stuff that is there. I'm replacing it with a container, or let's replace it with a card. Okay, we'll need a container anyways. I have written container. Okay, instead of text, I'll share this code in chat as well. Let me just write it down. I'm just writing it down. I'll share it in the chat. Okay, you see, so I replaced the text window with a blue box for some reason. I don't know. So I'm sharing this code. You can just copy and paste it. It is from line 35 to line 37. Okay. Make sure of these curly braces. Okay. Those are really important. You can just replace this entire body's parameter if you want. And it should work. This is from line 35 to line 37. I didn't do it incorrectly. Okay, that's correct. You can replace this part of code and you can see this exact change will be there in your screen as well. So the basic objective of this activity which we did right now was to make you familiarize with this environment editor and like letting you know that you can run your applications like this as well. Now there are many options which this FlutLab is offering. Options like you can choose a different emulator if you want. You can try that out. You can clone a project from GitHub if you want to clone some project from GitHub. Like let's go to github.com and search for Flutter projects. So yeah, there are lots of projects written in Flutter by this point. Like you see, there is this really nice animation project that we are looking at right now. Like these ratings kind of system they have implemented in this project. So I think this is a package, but we can take a project as well. So like you can find any project and like you can use this option that is VCS. You can use this option to like clone the project directly and use inside of this FlutLab. Okay. There is also this connect to Firebase feature. If you are not aware of Firebase, like it's simply like providing like ready to go backend services. That is Firebase. You don't need to know backend in order to get started with Firebase. That's the beauty of it. And there are lots and lots of things here. Like you can, I will suggest you to like explore it on your own mostly because like it's not in the scope of this workshop right now. But what I can do right now is to lead you to some other resources that you can look. Okay, flutter.dev. Okay, so this is a website you can always visit, and it will show you some of the really interesting things in Flutter. It's the official website for Flutter. Like it's showing all these examples, and like everything is there. But like let's go to these docs. So yeah, Flutter has really great documentation about like its widgets and all of these things. So like we can like there is also a cookbook given over here if anyone is interested. Yeah. Also to note that Flutter community Flutter team maintains a very good YouTube channel as well. So like you can learn all about these all about the Flutter framework using their own from their own developers, like from their own team, Flutter team. Okay, so that is also an option. So you can go to this get started option. Okay, so this another thing I want to talk about right now. This is the option where we are running this Flutter application on a web editor. Okay, this is an online editor. What if we want to have some local options like VS Code? Like here I have here I have a VS Code installed in my system. So you can also set this up locally using Android Studio or VS Code. Okay, there are two options available to you. Like this is a Flutter project that I have opened right now. You see it has like lots and lots of code, but that is not our primary concern. So yeah, you can set it up locally as well. And like how you can set it up locally. One way is that you can run this like in FlutLab online. Another way is you can set it up locally. Just go to this page if you want to set up this locally. We'll also share some video resources to you that you can check it out and do it from that video lesson. We'll also share that. But if you want, you can also visit this site. That is like for example, I'm in Windows right now. I went to Windows, like there are all the system requirements given. There is this Flutter SDK, like you need to download this SDK. The exact instructions are given to us, like what we need to do, how we need to update the path, and like things like that. So like entire like setup and instructions are given over here. For Android Studio also they are given here. And yeah, it is about Windows. Okay. So yeah, you can find the installation instructions from here. We'll also like share some videos with you. And that's pretty much it, I guess. You can get started with Flutter and like you can read this documentation which are there, which are provided. If you don't click on get started, as I did, like you can go to the widgets catalog or the cookbook. Okay, so I went inside this cookbook and like let's go inside this thing. Forms, gestures, images, lists. Okay, and one more good thing about this Flutter is that all its code you can run directly from the browser in their own website, in their official website. Like you see, there is this code written for this thing, and like the execution is also on the right. Like the simple. It is a simple application, very simple and like very like it is same as this application with some minor changes, and it's instant in the body. It's saying just image, and it's loading from this website that is pixum.photo or something. Okay, so you can visit this website to learn more about it. So I guess that is the most parts I would like to cover for today's session. This was an introduction to Flutter and how you can get started with Flutter. We covered things like how you should like how Flutter is different from other frameworks, like it uses Kia engine, and what is hybrid platform application development. Like it works with Android, iOS, Mac OS, Windows, etc., and things like that. And we also did some hands-on work using the FluttLab ID that we have over here. And we'll share some resources for the local setup as well. So if you like this session, please we'll be sharing a feedback form. You can write your feedback inside of it. And as the whatever feedback we receive, we'll try to implement that in the next session. And if you want to see the next workshop, next session on this, you can write it in the feedback form as well, or any other thing that you want to see. So please fill out the feedback form so that we are also like aware that yes, everyone is paying attention in the session, and what all things that we can there to improve. Okay, so I'm stopping the presentation right now. Yeah. So anyone has any questions or queries, like just unmute yourself and you can ask. Okay, we have a question. Should I learn Dart before writing Flutter apps? So I would say yes, you will need a little bit of Dart before starting with Flutter. That's a very good point you took up. Just a second, let me share my screen again. I'll share some resource to you as well for Dart. Okay, so yeah, that's a very good question you asked. Okay. So you can go to this Dart. One thing is that you can go to this dartpad.dev. I'm sharing this link as well. Copy, paste. Yeah. So this is Dartpad. Okay. It is like similar to this. We are running entire applications here. We can run Dart here. Okay. I hope you're getting the point. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we can run Dart over here, like void main print hello world. And yes, semicolons. It uses semicolons. It's a pretty good editor, I would say that. Because it is already coming, like it also gives warnings. It gives us some documentation console like right away. So like simple hello world program in Dart. Yes, to answer your question, yes, you will require some amount of knowledge to get started with Flutter. But if you have learned any programming language like C++, JavaScript, or like any programming language at all in past, okay, you'll find it very easy to like move into Dart, because like it's pretty similar to like you would have seen like this void main thing in like your C++, and like there are variables in this like var int, or like not int, var my variable equal to 10, like JavaScript. We do this like in JavaScript. So like, I would say that all the like good components from languages have been incorporated into Dart. I would say that. Okay, So a little bit of Dart will be required, but if you want to learn, like if you want us to take a session on all of these things, you can just write it in the feedback form. Okay, and we'll make sure to listen to like all of your requests and like plan a session accordingly. So yes, a little bit of Dart will be required, but not too much, not too much. You just need to know basic things in Dart, like how to print and like variables and things like that. And you will be, for the most part, you will be fine with moving on to Flutter. But yes, you should have a basic understanding of Dart. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Okay, how many days it will take to learn Flutter? Yeah, so it depends. It depends basically. So for me personally, I learned Flutter like one or 1.5 years ago, I guess. So like for me, it took about like 1 month. I used to do Flutter only at that point. I left all other frameworks and like just jumped into Flutter. Like I liked it so much. So like it for me, it took around like 1 month. You could complete it in 15 days if you are like very fast with things. If you take it like normally, it would take around one month or like 1.5 months max. So that is, I would say, if you follow a proper schedule and a proper course to like learn Flutter, I would say that it will take around a month. Also, one other thing which I remember from this question is that we are also planning to keep a 30 days of Flutter series. Okay, if you guys would be interested, like you can just tell us in the feedback form, like if you guys would be interested in such a series. We are planning to take a 30 days of Flutter series where we will taking like sessions on like Dart and like from Flutter, and we'll be building some applications as well in Flutter and like complete sessions on Flutter. Like you will, I would say that you will become you will be able to call yourself a beginner developer at that point at the end of that workshop of the 30 days of Flutter challenge of series that we are planning. So if you're interested, like you can definitely talk to us about it, and we'll make sure to like take this in the future. Any other queries that you might have? Anything regarding like from like how difficult is Dart or like anything like that you might be having. Should you learn Java or Kotlin first, or should you learn JavaScript first? Like any question that you might have.
So do we need the previous knowledge of web development and app development for Flutter?
Are you asking that is it required to have some knowledge of web and app development? Did I get your question right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, no, you don't need previous knowledge of web or app development or anything at all, apart from just basic understanding of programming, just basic understanding of programming and how it works. That is all you need. Like, you don't need any web development knowledge to get into it. Although you can create web applications using Flutter, but you would not require HTML, CSS, or JavaScript at any point, I would say, for building web applications also. You can build websites to like blogs and like e-commerce sites using Flutter, and you would not use single line of HTML, CSS in those websites. Everything will work in Dart. Everything. All the divs, containers, CSS elements, everything has been taken care of. Can we develop Android apps in VS Code? Yes, of course. I myself use VS Code only for development. Like I have built applications which are like having over like 1 lakh downloads in Play Store. You can look it up. Like there are some applications that I have built. They are having like humongous downloads, and like everything has been developed in VS Code by me only. So like I never use Android Studio for anything. Like it's just installed because we need it to be installed in order for Flutter to work. Apart from that, I have never used Android Studio for development. Everything works perfectly with VS Code. Okay. Another question is, any prerequisite for learning Flutter? As I said, no. You don't need to know anything before getting into Flutter. No web development, no Android development knowledge is required. No HTML, CSS is required ever. No HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Just basic programming knowledge is required, like for loops, if-else condition, and things like that. Just basic programming knowledge is required, and you can hop into Flutter very easily. Okay, how to configure it then? Yeah, so as I was telling about, like I will share a video on how to set up like your Android Studio and VS Code both in Flutter so that you can set it up on your own. Okay, I'll share a video for that. I'll share a video explaining like how to configure this thing into your own system. So yeah. Any other questions that you might have? Or any feedback that you might want to give right now, like because like you don't feel like giving it in feedback form or something. Any feedback that you might want to share, like for today's session.
Sir, do you have any
Yeah.
course to learn Flutter?
There are some good resources on the internet, like YouTube. There are some very good resources as well. There are some paid courses as well, which are very good, I would say. I personally I have recommended this course to many people, and they found it helpful. So I can tell it to you as well. There is a course on Udemy called as like Flutter. I'll share its link on Udemy link. I'm only saying this because like I've shared it to a lot of people and they found it useful. Okay, so I'll share that link and like and another YouTube channel link also as well if you want to go for YouTube. But there are some really good courses for that as well. I'll share those. Okay, I'll share those. I'm just writing these things down. Okay. So any other thing apart from this, or else we can end this session and like we can move on to some other things. Yeah. All right then. Any other doubts you might have, you can just simply write it in the like Discord channels. Any of the Discord channels, like we will have Discord for Flutter projects as well.
Uh, Wait a minute, Apu.
Mhm.
So all those who are having doubt regarding the certificate, we have planned according that if you have attended our sessions and work accordingly and did what we are saying to you do, so you will get a certification, and all the participation will get the certificate of participation, and those who complete the PRs will get the certification for that. So the certificate will be shared on the 11th day once our session is over. So don't worry about the certifications. You will get the certificate. Do attend the session, and if you have any queries or doubts, do ask us in Discord or do in the live sessions. And if you have any other query, then write in the chat box.
All right, I guess then we can end this session, I guess. Any other queries you might have, you can simply ask in the Discord server and we'll be able to answer those. Apart from this one thing, you can go to the GDSC organization that we have on GitHub. We have a project called as Flutter to do. Okay, let me share the link for that as well. GitHub.com. So we have a Flutter project as well. If you want to learn and contribute to Flutter projects, we have a beginner-friendly Flutter project in our organization that you can contribute to. It is a to-do application built in Flutter. You can clone this project and try to like run it on a system. Yeah. So course link is also shared. Great. So you can clone this application and try to understand its code or do something like that, or like you can explore the code base on your own. If you want another session, just write it down in the feedback form. We'll take another session for this. And or else, thank you for attending the session. It has been really great till now. Yeah, and like let's meet in the next session. Is anyone saying something? All right, I guess no. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you all can leave now. Thank you.